students, how are you? This video is for class 8. Today I am going to teach you history. The first lesson, that is the period of transition. So students, the period between the end of the medieval age and the beginning of modern age is regarded as the period of transition. This period differed from country to country depending on the condition of development of that country. In Europe, the modern period is said to have begun in 15th century, whereas in India it began in the mid 18th century. Now many development took place in Europe and in India in this period of transition, which paved the way for the emergence of modern world. Now I am going to tell you the developments which took place in Europe during the period of transition. The first one is the decline of feudalism. The most significant development was the decline of feudalism, which was the basis of life during the medieval period. This changed the social, economic, and political life of Europeans. The peace and freedom that prevailed after the decline of feudalism favored the growth of new learning. The second one was the crusade. The crusade provides the impetus to trade and commerce and increased the trade between eastern and western countries. Now, what is the meaning of crusades? Crusades is the Christian military expeditions made by the Europeans to recover the Holy Land from the Muslims. Third one is, as a result of crusades, the European came into contact with Eastern civilization. Fourth one is, in order to increase commercial contacts, many voyages were undertaken to discover new sea routes. Fifth one, dissatisfaction by the common people for some of the practice of the church paved the way for reformation. Now, the invention of printing press in the middle of 15th century in Europe made it possible to produce books in large numbers, which influenced people's attitude to life and brought about a new awakening in Europe. The last one is the revival of old learning led to the development of new thoughts, learnings, and culture called Renaissance. Now, we'll discuss about the development which took place during the period of transition in India. The major development in India during the period of transition were following. First one, the decline of the Mughal Empire and the emergence of number of regional kingdoms. The second one was the defeat of Marathas in the third battle of Panipat by the Afghans and the inability of the Marathas to replace the Mughals and establish an all India empire. Third one is the conquest of India by the British and turning India into a colony of the British. Fourth one is the British policies in India which impacted its culture, economy, society, and overall development. And now I am going to tell you about the sources which became helpful for reconstructing the history of India during the modern period. Now these sources were being divided into two parts, that are primary sources as well as secondary sources. The primary sources are the sources that provide direct and first-hand evidence about an event. These includes the following. The first one is official records, that is the papers of government agencies at different levels. The record put down by East India Company give a detailed account of trading conditions during this period. These records also give details about all levels of administration. The second one is record of European companies, that are like those of the Portuguese, Dutch, and the French are useful for constructing the history of 17th and 18th century. They are important primarily from the point of view of economic history, but much can also be gathered about the political setup in India at that time. Third one is contemporary literary works such as memories, biographies, travel accounts, which provide useful glimpses into the history of the period. The fourth one is newspapers and periodicals in English and Indian languages. Next one is paintings, drawings, sketches and engravings of the periods. Next one is photographs, films and audios and videos tapes of events and interviews of famous personalities. Next one is archaeological sources like buildings, monuments and artifacts, etc. Now when we are talking about secondary sources, these are the sources produced by using the primary sources. So whereas the primary sources provide first hand information, the secondary sources involve generalization, analysis and interpretation of the original information. These includes first of all historical works written by contemporary historians, and the second one is the socio-economic details given in the literary works such as novels, plays, poems and short stories written by the British and Indian authors of the period. Now our next topic is the Renaissance. The term Renaissance means rebirth or revival. It is used for the movement that began in Italy in the 14th century and later on spread to the other countries of Europe. This movement aimed at reviving the classical heritage of Europe, from which it had been separated for almost 8 centuries. Some of the important features of Renaissance were the following. First one is humanism. It refers to a system of thoughts that considered solving human problems with the help of reasons as more important than religious beliefs. It emphasized the dignity of man. It defended man's right to pleasure and the satisfaction of worldly desire. Thus, man became the focus of study during the Renaissance. The Renaissance thinkers like Francesco, Petrarch and Giovanni Boccaccio came to be known as humanists, as they shifted the focus of man from spiritualism to worldly affair. The second one is spirit of inquiry. The Renaissance produced a spirit of inquiry and a sense of curiosity. It taught human beings to question and know the why and how of things. This spirit of inquiry promoted a scientific approach, and people began to reason before arriving at a conclusion. Scientific approach extended to explorations and expeditions to prove into every realm of knowledge. Third one is rationalism. The scholars of Renaissance period, known as rationalists, rejected all that was based on superstition. They questioned the authority of the church and refused to follow its teaching and authority blindly. They developed rational thinking and judged everything on the basis of reason. The fourth one is glorification of human form. The Renaissance scholars and artists glorified human body. Their work was full of faith that a man with an active mind and body was capable of knowing and controlling the world and fashioning his own happiness. Although the Renaissance artists took their subject from the Bible, they portrayed the human form in all its earthly beauty and vigor. Now, what were the impact of Renaissance? The Renaissance left a deep impact on every aspect of life, that is painting, architecture, literature, science, and above all on human thinking. The first one is the artists of Renaissance period freed themselves from medieval rules and traditions regarding religious themes and colors. They made realistic paintings and glorify human form in their paintings. They painted directly on plastered wall called the frescoes. They also developed the technique of oil painting. The most famous of Renaissance artists were Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael. The second one is the sculpture of Renaissance age were greatly influenced by humanism. That is why they made a detailed study of human anatomy and carved the grace and beauty of the human body in their sculpture. The outstanding sculpture of Renaissance period were Donatello, who made the bronze statue of David, Michelangelo, who made a statue called Pieta, showing Mother Mary in a seated posture carrying a body of Jesus. The third point is Renaissance led to the use of local languages instead of Latin as in the Middle Age. Beside the use of local languages, the authors of this period wrote on various aspects of human life rather than on spiritual themes. They tried on highlight problems faced by man. The fourth point, the Renaissance spirit encouraged scientific observations and experimentations. The scientific experiments led to many new innovations and discoveries. Some of these discoveries challenged the existing church belief. For example, Copernicus, a Polish astronomer, proved that the earth revolves around the sun. By this, he challenged the old Christian belief that the earth was the center of the universe. Later on, a German scientist, John Kepler, proved that the earth and other planets move around the sun and not in a circle but in an elliptical orbit. Italian scientist Galileo invented the telescope. He also discovered that the Milky Way is made up of stars. Sir Isaac Newton discovered his famous law of gravitation. John Gutenberg invented the printing press, which helped in spreading knowledge, thoughts through books. And lastly, the architects of Renaissance period freed themselves from the medieval rules and traditions and constructed beautiful monuments, churches, monasteries, and palaces. They blended various styles like Islamic, Greek, Roman, and Byzantine architecture. St. Peter's Church in Rome is an excellent example of Renaissance architecture. It was designed and decorated by Michelangelo. Student, I hope you understood all this. I will discuss all the remaining portion of this lesson in my next video. Till then, bye bye.